Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chuck. I'm here from the dark basement in Canada. Hopefully, during one of the commercials, I can lighten this room up a little bit, and then you'll be able to see me a little bit more and not so scowly like I'm gonna kill you. Which isn't off the table. Um, so it's just me tonight. No Wendy, sadly. She's got some stuff she has to take care of. But your boy Chuck's here. We have, as always, another freaking great show. I've got my dude John Holland here. He is going to show off an awesome Kickstarter comic. And then, of course, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to enjoy some freaking awesome trivia with some great treats. That's why you're here for Talking Treats Trivia. I'll see you guys in just a minute.
You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy digging to do before 10 o'clock.
What is going on, everybody? I believe I have a guest here. Is John here? So good to see all of you guys. Yep, just waiting to see if my guest shows up. I know he was here just a minute ago. We'll see if he pops into the stream. But yeah, man, as always, Talking Treats Trivia. We're just here to have a good old time. And of course, we're going to talk about, I believe the book is called Alma. But I'd have to talk to John more about that to know for sure. Yeah, I'm going to look and see if shot in the dark, indeed. John Holland, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Chuck?
I'm doing all right, man. Things happen. That's the fun part of live.
Oh yeah.
So you're in Louisiana right now, right?
Yeah. I'm about an hour, not quite an hour outside of New Orleans, across from Lake Pontchartrain.
Okay. Yeah, I've been through there. Nice. Usually on my way to Florida, but still, I love Louisiana. I would have loved to have spent more time there.
Yeah. I like, except for with the humidity like it is right now during the summer, the heat and humidity is enough to kill you.
Oh, I bet between the humidity and probably mosquitoes, it's almost unbearable.
Mosquitoes are terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I feel you there. So, you know what we're here? We're here for nerdy stuff. I know you got a great comic book going on. Why don't you tell us a little bit? It's an Alma, right?
Alma, yes, sir.
So tell us all about Alma.
All right. Well, I always struggle when I create a comic. I always seem to struggle with the tagline. You know, people come up with these great little taglines and the elevator pitches. I'm terrible about that. But for this, I've created the best tagline I've ever come up with. And it usually really hits people when I talk to them about at conventions and stuff. Basically, Alma is, what if Buffy was a 72-year-old grandmother?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that kind of like takes it all into one. It's even people, I was surprised because I printed this up before the Kickstarter last year and did a 24-page version of this at conventions. And it really did really well at conventions because, when I gave them that, that question, everybody knows who Buffy is. A lot of people haven't watched Buffy. I was surprised by a lot of the people that said they've never watched it, but even the people that never watched it knew who she was, because Buffy's become like an iconic character now. I kind of felt old because I got a lot of, oh yeah, my mom used to watch Buffy. So, but even then they knew who Buffy was at least. So it sold itself to a lot of people, because even people that never watch it, that's a cool idea. I'll pick it up. So Alma's kind of it was inspired by two people, Buffy and my mom. My mom's name was Alma, and my mom passed away not this last May, but the May before last. And my mom was one of the strongest people I know. I mean, she was like almost up to even into her 80s. She'd be out there mowing the yard, and just nothing was going to stop her, until she got to the point when it kind of, when she got to about 84, 85, her age caught up with her.
Yeah, it'll do that.
Yeah. And so, I took a lot of Buffy because I'm a big Buffy fan. I watched Buffy when it first, came on the air. I'm old enough to remember when it first, aired. And
Same, yeah.
yeah, and so I was a big Buffy fan, and I took a lot of Alma, my mom, her name, and just, a lot of that, and kind of combined the two and created Alma. And Alma's, she's not Buffy. Sometimes people kind of get confused and think that I'm actually like made Buffy 72 years old and a grandmother. Well, I can't do that. I don't have a license for it. But
Right.
And but I took a lot. Alma's kind of it's the genesis of the whole project of the comic was from a Facebook group, and I don't even remember what Facebook group it was. It was some fantasy heroic type Facebook group, and somebody made a comment was about how whenever you get these fantasy big fantasy stories, it's always either the young kid that's like the naive guy that works in the barn or whatever, or like Buffy, the teenage high schooler. They always get the powers. And somebody said, what if somebody's grandma got the powers? And then the whole posts were like basically just a joke. Everybody was going riffing off of oh well, if she did this and that. But my mind took it serious. I was like, wait a minute, that's what I did. It's different. It's and you don't see older people represented in comics a lot. And unless you're like Aunt May or something like that.
But not usually the hero.
Exactly. And I took that and my mind started thinking about, well, what if it was somebody's grandmother? And that's basically I created the character. And I did a little twist on Buffy. She doesn't have a Watcher council, but she does have she's called the Champion, and it's basically the same process of Buffy. And usually it is like a young girl that gets the powers. And in the beginning of the book, the Champion gets killed, so the next champion should be born, and it should have been a young, probably 15, 16-year-old woman. Instead, Alma's out in her yard doing gardening work, and she gets struck with the power, and she passes out. And when she comes to, the internal companion, who's always like is different in each incarnation, is standing there, and her internal companion is a 3 foot tall talking garden gnome named Tyrone. So, I put a lot of humor into the book, as well as, it's a serious book, but one of my favorite writers is Steve Gerber, from, creator of Howard the Duck and wrote The Defenders. And I've always been really inspired by his writing. And, he always would put very weird or, absurd things in his comics. And I kind of, no matter how serious I do something, I've got some humor in there or something that just feels off the wall.
So is Alma affected by her age, or has her champion status kind of made her stronger and she doesn't have like a hurt back or weak knees or whatever?
No, both. She's got the extra strength, and she's got the power, but because she already was this age, she still suffers from, arthritis. Her knees bother her, her back bothers her. So, she still suffers a lot of that, that you would suffer as an older person. And I can attest to that. Lately, I've learned I've got arthritis in my hands, and, sometimes it's like, typing away, just after a while, you just have to stop and rest your hands. But so she still experiences a lot of that, but she still has that power to, like, go one-on-one with a demon or a monster. And one of the things in this book is there's going to be vampires in it, but it's not, it's more demons and monsters in it. And I didn't want to make it like vampires, and I didn't want to make it too much like Buffy, because it's already going to be like people are going to say, oh, you're just ripping off Buffy. But it's, hopefully it's a unique spin, it's original spin on it, and it's not quite, like I said, it's not like she's fighting vampires and, like Buffy was. And in the book, I actually address the whole Buffy thing. Alma brings up the idea of, what am I, Buffy? and Tyrone says, no, you're not Buffy. This is a whole different situation. Because I figured just get it out of the way before before I go on. Let's face it and call it out what it is, and then we'll move on. And Alma's created to be an ongoing series. I've already got 3 issues written, and I'm this Kickstarter is basically hoping for me to be able to pay the artist for the second issue, because the second issue is already written. He's already drawn about 8 pages of it, and I'm hoping make enough from the Kickstarter to pay him, because like I said, the book is done. The book is I've already printed up a smaller version of it. 24 pages. This book is 48 pages.
Oh wow.
It's 32 pages of comic story, because I added another 8 pages to the original 24. It's got a letter page in it. It's got recipes from my mom, Alma's recipes. It's got
cool.
My mom, before she died, she had actually been writing like a little memoir for me and my brother and sister, like of her life. And she didn't get real far with it, but I actually reprinted like 3 or 4 pages of that in the comic too, because I wanted to give that, I guess, that flavor of my mom in the comic, besides just the character, to show where she was kind of where she came from. So it's a really kind of a really different type of comic. How many comics have recipes in them? Not a lot.
Yeah, that's such a nice tribute to your mom too. I really like that, dude.
Yeah. It really became more, especially after she passed. I really wanted to make something more to honor her, and for a tribute for her.
So Alma, like a character like that, or like Buffy or whatever, they often have like a team. Does Alma have a team that works with her? Like, is there a Scooby gang? And
Yes.
and what are they? Is it a geriatric gang? Like, what are we looking at here?
There will be a Scooby gang, and that's actually, she even Tyrone even tells her at one point when they're talking about the whole Buffy situation. He tells her, he says, look, you're not going to have a Scooby gang. There is no Scooby gang with this. Well, eventually there is going to be a Scooby gang. Her husband in the book had passed away earlier than Alma, so he's been dead. And he's going to come back in the second issue as a ghost. And he's based on my dad. So I'm kind of
cool.
This comic has a lot of personal things in it that, more so, you always put a little personality and, personal parts into anything you write, I think. This one a lot more than normal. And so the second issue introduces the ghost of her husband. And at the end of the second issue, her granddaughter shows up. And her granddaughter is like 15-year-old girl who actually hitchhiked, because her mom, Alma's daughter, is kind of like kind of a drugged up, not a very good person. So the granddaughter actually leaves and hitchhikes to visit Alma. And then I'm going to start kind of playing with the idea that maybe Alma's granddaughter is the one that was supposed to get the power, because she's the right, and she just gets there a little later, because this only happens a few days after Alma gets the power. So, she's going to have the Scooby gang is going to be Alma, Tyrone, the ghost of her husband, and her granddaughter.
Oh, wow. So, dude, there's so much to play off of that. Here, one question, as a fellow writer, do you then find it hard to hurt Alma, knowing that in a way that's your mom?
That's a good question. I don't know yet. I mean, she's taken some hits and stuff like that, but I haven't got to a point where she's been really, threatened too serious. So, now that you've mentioned that, I may kind of like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I remember taking someone and making a character out of them just because they were so perfect for what I was looking for. But I had to warn them right away, some terrible things are going to happen to this character, and it has nothing to do with you. So where it started from, you. After that, it's got nothing to do with my relationship with you, who you are, anything. So you cannot take that stuff personally. And they were like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Actually, that's true, because in the third issue, or actually it's probably not the third issue, because I wrote an issue. I was going to, as I was self-publishing, I was going to do the first 3 issues, and then I was going to jump ahead to issue 25, where, you know, everything was already set up and kind of, it was going to be a haunted house type story. And that issue is actually pretty much written. And in that one, all the characters take it really pretty bad. Alma gets pretty bad off in it. The granddaughter, you know, all of them get, you know, before the end of the book, they all go through the ringer. So
that's funny. So what is Alma's favorite weapon?
She basically it's her cane. She was using a cane, you know, and her cane just becomes like you know, super powered. So she uses that to, like, basically, you know, hit the demons and you know, stab them with and stuff like that.
Of course. And if she cuts down the end of it, whittles it down, she's got herself a steak.
Yeah. That's true. She hasn't did that yet, but she still uses the cane sometimes to walk too, because, you know, after a big fight or whatever, you know, then she realizes, you know, her back is starting to bother her again, and, you know, the arthritis is starting to kick up, so she kind of uses that cane to get around a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. So what are some Kickstarter exclusives that we're going to have on this campaign?
We've got some different some variant covers. We've got some digital rewards. I've got some trading cards and some buttons and some stickers we haven't introduced yet.
Anything you're particularly excited about?
The variant covers, I really, you know, they're not by anybody famous or, you know, big names, but they're, you know, from some friends of mine, you know, that are in comics that did, I think, some really good covers. We've got a couple more covers we're going to introduce in the next week or so, because I wanted to, you know, not put everything right up front, you know, to have some stuff to, you know, as we go along, because we started off really great. The first day we did almost half our goal in the first day. You know,
nice.
But the last couple days, it's only about 4 days, I think 5 days old right now. And the last few days we've really slowed down a lot. You know, you know, after that first day, I was like, oh, we're going to make our goal in like 2 days here, you know, and then as we've really, you know, we're, you know, getting a couple pledges a day or something. So, you know, we've got to do something to kind of spice it up and, you know, bring some more eyes to it. So.
Well, and that's a good reminder to everybody here. Go check out Alma, ALMA, right?
ALMA, yeah.
Yeah, ALMA. Check it out on Kickstarter. John, if you're able to put the Kickstarter URL in the chat, that'd be awesome. But yeah, everybody go check it out, because you know what we always say. These guys are here. They're showing off their amazing projects, and they also have, John, like everybody else, has an amazing prize package for our first player today, for our winner. So because of that, I love for you guys to, at the very least, share it around, show it off. If you have any friends who you think would really be into that, older Buffy friends, or just anybody who would enjoy that kind of action adventure or that sort of take on things, please check it out, show it off. And if you think you'd like it, jump on, buy the damn book.
I was able to share the link in the private chat, but it won't let me share it in the other chat because I don't have a YouTube account.
Okay. Oh, and you're through Inked. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm a part of Inked as well, so that's awesome.
Kevin's been a big help. You know, he's been, you know, we've been working on this, you know, getting this project together for the last month, you know, and you know, we've been talking about, you know, what we can do and what we can change and how we can get some more people in here. Yeah,
solid dude.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's not like he just didn't say, "Okay, here it is, leave me alone now." You know, he's continually working on it with me. You know, he's like, "All right, what can we do next?"
Well, you can tell Kev that Chuck showed you off.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. No, a good dude, and yeah, I like what they do, and they can be really helpful.
Yes. Yeah.
So good. I'm glad to hear you got some help with that, because yeah, that's a big deal, and it sounds like you're definitely gonna fund. Kickstarter's been really difficult this year. You know, we have more projects on than ever, and money's difficult for everybody.
Yeah. I just did a Kickstarter in March, Death Rain, that actually did really well. But, we've been doing those drawn in tiers, and Death Rain, basically the drawn in tiers was over half of what we made. We had
wow.
So if you took off the drawn in tiers from our campaign, we wouldn't have funded.
Oh man.
And I've got some drawn in tiers for Alma, but I can't. Death Rain, we're able to do a lot more with the drawn in tiers. Offer a lot more people getting killed and monsters, and Alma's kind of a little more tighter written, I guess, or I've got more of a tighter rein on it that I just can't throw a lot of some things in it. So I don't know how well those drawn in tiers will work, but I do have a drawn in tier for the cover, and the idea is draw your grandma on the cover. We'll draw, like if you want to use for how many grandmas get a present, Christmas or birthday present with them on the cover of a comic book?
So true. I love that idea.
Or you can draw anybody, but since Alma's the grandma, we just kind of went with the idea of have your grandma drawn on as the cover of Alma.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm hoping that kind of catches on, and a few people may do that, because the drawn in tiers are more expensive, but they move the needle a lot.
Big time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's freaking awesome, man. So do you have any other projects in the works right now?
Oh, it's only Kickstarter I've got right now, but I've got tons of other projects. I'm always, I publish under Diebold Comics. That's my company, and in the last 2 years, I've published about 30 comics. Some of them are reprints. Some of them I was doing some like public domain stuff. I reprinted the first book of Winnie the Pooh book, because when I went to public domain, I thought that'd be kind of cool to have on my table. But also, up until about a year and a half ago, I actually had a full-time job, but I retired about a year and a half ago. So I went from having, a really pretty decent income where I could fund my comics. I didn't have to, I was able, because I didn't spend a lot of money on other things. All my extra money went to my comics.
I feel that.
And so I was able to, spend the money on them. Now that I'm retired, Social Security does not pay enough to have you to say, okay, I'm going to take this much and just, pay my artist and pay my letterer and pay my colorist or whatever.
I feel that.
So now Kickstarter has become really important to me, to get this stuff done. And, so I'm actually probably going to take some of my things that I've written in the last couple of years and hit Kickstarter with them and try to, get the next issues done, because I've got a couple other ongoing series that I'd like to, keep going. And, and the good thing is I can offer, complete books for Kickstarter, because Death Rain, we haven't finished it yet. And I really don't like that, because now we're trying to get it done to get it out to the backers. Alma is 100% done. Now we do have one extra, Kevin calls them like milestones, I think, where if we reach a certain goal, we're actually going to color Alma. Because right now it's a black and white comic.
Well, it's like a stretch goal.
But we'll color. But I like the black and white. And Hernan Gonzalez is the artist on Alma, and his art is perfect for black and white.
Nice.
It's not like he drew it and it's just how some comics look like, where's the color? He drew this for black and white. But the reality is more people like color. And I actually was showing this to Scout at one time, and they kind of said, it needs to be in color. And they said, let me see some color. So I actually had a colorist color, I think 4 pages of it. And, I was going to go, kind of continue that with Scout, but I kind of, with Scout's kind of had some issues lately. And, I've kind of, backpedaled a little bit. I didn't want to get into something that I was going to regret. so I figured let me do this Kickstarter, see where we go from here. I'd like to get it published by a publisher, but I don't want to give up the rights. I don't want to, lose things.
Of course, yeah.
Just to get it out there because, at the end of the day, this is something I want to keep doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I love this. Oh yeah, Eddie said he can't read black and white anymore. Just because of his I can't remember what it is, but yeah. But I love this. Kyle actually asked, "Can you draw my grandma as an old church lady, like massive crucifix?"
We'll draw her any way you want her to be drawn.
Well, there you go then. You heard it here first, Kyle. No, dude, I like that idea a lot. The one thing I would warn you just from one creative to another is that even if you do hit that milestone, which would be great, it means that you have to color every subsequent issue.
Yeah. I thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that it's almost like if you're gonna go black and white, just stick with it, But if you're able to pull it off, and I do agree, it probably might look better colored, but
I don't know if I think it'll look good colored. I mean, I don't know if it'll look better because I like it in black and white, but I think it'll be more open to people picking it up, which, it's just, I actually did a little survey on, Twitter and on my Facebook page. I asked people, color or black and white. And I was surprised a lot of people said they like black and white, but the majority still said, oh, if I have to choose, I'd go with color. It's just.
Yeah. And for me, I say it really depends on the piece.
Yeah, that's what I agree too. I got into comics back in, and a lot of people probably don't even remember it, back in the black and white boom, back in like the 80s and 90s, when, there was like a billion publishers out there, and they were all in black and white right after the Turtles, debuted. And
I was going to mention them. Yeah,
that whole, and they were throwing everything at the wall and seeing what stuck. But everything I did at that point almost was black and white because that's what all those publishers were, black and white at the time, and I like black and white.
Well, I think I had a really good idea. You could just spot color it, put some red in there for blood or something.
I actually have another book that I'm working on with Hernan. That's what we're doing. It's black and white and color because it's going to be like a vampire book, and we're just using the red to for the color in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad idea at all. We got all sorts of awesome people here. Everybody, please go check out Kickstarter. Look for Alma, ALMA. It sounds like an absolutely amazing story. It really does, man. I know that it's a simple idea of Buffy as a grandma, and I do like that. But there's just so much to explore and play with, and so much that we haven't seen before. We don't see a lot of, dare I say, geriatric superheroes. So I love that idea, John. I think that's a really cool, fun, smart idea, and I'm excited to see how you guys pull it off.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So what kind of Connie here was, there she goes. She goes, it depends. We did our Dracula comic in black and white, but with added red accents, seemed to hit people pretty well. So yeah, there's definitely options. Like her and Kyle both said. What kind of a prize do you have for the players today?
Well, I've got actually two books. This may be the next book I kickstart. This is Robot Sex, so we're going from a completely different style of book. First two issues of Robot Sex. Despite the title, it's not X-rated. There's no nudity or sex in it. It's basically a science fiction adventure story. It features Laveau and her partner Barney the robot, and they're on a futuristic Earth that basically is destroyed. There's some major cities on the planet. They're traveling to New Orleans, a futuristic New Orleans, for a job. And the first two issues, these are two issues. I call this my saga, my version of Saga, which even though it's nothing like Saga, there's nothing, but how kind of Saga is this big, long story, and that's what I'm looking at this as. It's going to just follow the adventures of Laveau and Barney as they travel through the Earth, and they're actually going to end up in space later. And it's got everything. I've got dinosaurs in here. I've got flying monkeys. I've got a jazz band. I've got anything you can. I mean, I'm just going all out with this book. I'm putting everything in here that I can put in that I can think of, and just to create the story and to keep it moving. And the artist on this is Roman Gabuski, and he's doing an amazing job. These covers are just, this cover, the first issue. I can't figure out what's what. Yeah, no. This cover is like just the coloring on it and everything. I just love it.
Yeah, I do like that a lot.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
We're working. I'm working on the third issue. I'm thinking after Alma, this may be the next one I kickstart. I've already got 2 issues done that I can probably maybe kickstart it together or something. But this is a really fun comic. To me, I enjoy it so much just writing it. It's like I said, I'm kind of, I used to be a really big science fiction fan when I was younger. That's all I read was science fiction. Asimov, Paul Anderson, Peter Sturgeon, Harlan Ellison, all those guys. That used to be all I read was science fiction. As I got older, I kind of drifted away a little bit, and I still pick up some science fiction. I can't say I'm a huge fan. There's a lot of, when I started reading, you could probably almost pick up everything that was published almost, because I used to read so much of it. And I'm just taking all my ideas that I've ever had, that fit into a science fiction story and just putting it in this.
This interview has been a lot of fun, but I have to tell you, as soon as you mentioned robot sex, the chat went freaking mental. People, they're having so much fun. Like, just throwing some stuff out here. Does it feature the humping robot from Robot Chicken? Do metal robots get wood? Like, just amazing. Yeah, robot flirting. Nice hard drive. Where do you see my RAM? Like, just brilliant. Oh yeah. So people are already excited about robot sex. Guys, make sure to also check out Alma. John, thank you so much for coming on the show today, man. I really appreciate you hanging out with us, and I really hope that everybody goes and picks it up, because it sounds like an amazing book.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Really glad to do it, man. Anytime, feel free to hit me up. All right, gang. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then right after that, we're going to come back with some awesome trivia, and you guys are going to win yourself a couple issues of Robot Sex. See you in just a minute.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, I switched spots just so you could see me a little bit better. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have to, we have a lot less commercials today because of the storms up in Ohio and everything, but that's okay, because that gives us lots of time to do some awesome trivia. Boom. So everyone who's there, shout out, say hi. Don't Google robot sex to find the comics. Indeed, my friend, indeed. I don't have a Wendy today, so it will take a little bit longer, but if everybody's ready, I think we can do some trivia and we can have a good old time. So let's just frickin' make it happen. Here with question number 1. You know what? Donald Sutherland passed away, and he's someone who, when he passed away, it had been a while, I felt like, since, because usually when we're doing the trivia here, we're talking about major people who have passed away. Like, it ends up being part of the trivia, kind of a tribute from us. to them, so to speak. And it's been a while since we've been able to throw anybody in here. So Donald Sutherland, rest in peace. Big fan, loved a lot of what he did. But in the end, how many Oscars did Donald Sutherland win? That's the question. How many Oscars did our man Donald Sutherland end up getting? And we're talking official, nothing like honorary or anything like that. Official. All right, so we've got one correct answer so far. And two. Oh, Phil's here. Great. Okay. So first one was Eddie, and then the 2 points was Phil. It was in fact 0, which is insane to me. Eddie gets 3, Phil gets 2, everybody else gets a point. Yeah, man, 0. Nothing. Didn't win any Oscars, which I think is just ridiculous. Sprinkles are for winners. Indeed they are. Yeah, so 0. How ridiculous is that? I definitely think he deserved some more, especially, just he did so many amazing pieces. I mean, that people are still talking about. I love that he ended up coming back and doing Hunger Games, because now a younger audience has been able to enjoy and appreciate him. He had just a lengthy career, and he's Canadian, so there we go. Question 2. Which state was named after a French king? I know. France ends up giving America a lot of crap, especially when people go over there. But you guys still ended up. He deserved 1 Oscar for putting up with Gamer. Indeed, I agree with that. Oh, and we got correct answers right away. Holy crap, guys! You guys are all over that. Steve got the 3 points, and it looks like Connie got the 2. So Vendetta gets the 3, Connie gets the 2. I'm going to give a point out to everybody else. That is correct. It is, in fact, Louisiana. Oh, look, even Kyle's jumping in. I love that. Yeah, it is Louisiana, folks. And I'm trying not to ram through these too quickly, because I don't have commercial breaks. So Louisiana, that's great. So I gotta, I gotta make some room. But we'll move on to question 3 just for you guys. The band Crazy Town. I know some of you might not even heard of them, but the band Crazy Town had a hit with what song named after an insect? I typed New Orleans and had to erase. That's funny. But yeah, so Crazy Town, the lead singer just passed away at the age of 49. He was only a couple years older than me. Oh, Louis Piazza shows up. Oh my gosh. Okay, Louis. Did not expect that. Louis shows up and gets himself 3 points, in fact. Coming in late, but getting himself some points. Steve Vendetta gets the 2 on that bad boy, and then I'll give everybody else a point. That's right. It was Butterfly. Yeah, rest in peace. I thought was already dead. Oh, that's terrible. They did not age well. I never liked that song anyways. How are you like this hard rock band that does a song, the only song you're known for is Butterfly? Just, ooh, rough, guys. Rough. What can I say? Ladybug. Inagata Devita, dude, come on. That's an amazing. That's by Iron Butterfly. Someone from that band died. Oh, did they really? Died at the height of their popularity. So what? During that 1 month, everyone was listening to them.
That's why they never put out another record. Like Led Zeppelin,
Really?
it happened and then they just stopped playing.
I didn't know that. Oh wow.
Yeah. I was maybe a bigger Crazy Town fan than people should have been.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. But I mean, good for you. That was a very poppy song. Did they have any rockier stuff?
All of their stuff was that rock, pop, hip hop.
Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. People are gonna like what they like, and it's too bad he passed away. But hey, at least he earns a little bit of immortality through music and by being a trivia question. So yeah, we did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Lewis got that one. So we did get our winners. We did get stuff going on. I want to check the comments real quick. I was like 13. I didn't know what I didn't know. Just making sure that no one else. Crazy Town is a band, indeed. Yeah, they are. That's funny. I heard one of the musicians from Iron Butterfly dabbled with super science. I believe that. That's not a surprise. All right. So question number 4. Here's one. Some more music. Much more well-known person, though, I think. Which country music star recently broke the record in the United States for largest ticketed show? Largest ticketed show. What is it? 111,000 people. And this guy had already won. He'd already gotten the okay, Phil Ailing. All right. Technically, Beyonce is a country star, but no, it is not her. Not Chris Stapleton. Old guy. So hopefully we have some older country fans here. Not Lil Nas. Like I said, old guy. There. Okay, so we got one. Our old guy came in with an old guy answer, and it's an old guy correct answer. Nicely done. So Eddie is going to get the 3 points on that. Let's see if anybody can get the 2. Johnny Cash's Ghost, yeah, perhaps. Not Garth Brooks, guys. Even older. Does start with a G, though. Yeah, okay. So go back and go straight back, and look at Eddie's answers. Watch, you're calling it old guy. Fair enough. I know this gray beard. I don't think I get to call anybody old. I have no right at all to call anyone old. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit longer, and if you can't go back and see what that answer was, I'm just. Oh, did we get someone else? Yeah, Vendetta. Okay, cool. Vendetta got the 2 points there. And then I'm going to give points to everybody else. George Strait. There's your hint. Yeah. George Strait. He's the one. 100, but not bad for an old guy. 111,000 tickets. That's big. I think it was like 110,905 or something. So give him the 111. Like, that's amazing. When you think about everybody else who was working there, definitely over 111. Cool. Question number 5. We're on question 5 already. What's up, Finn? How's the dog doing? Question 5. How many years were J-Lo and Ben Affleck divorced before remarrying? We all remember Bennifer. Dire Straits. Loved Dire Straits. Dire Straits. They were amazing. But yeah, sorry, that was in the comments. But yeah, how many years were J-Lo and Ben Affleck divorced before remarrying? They had 6 is too low. Even 12 is too low, guys. They actually had a long period of time because they were together in like 2000, something like that. And then they only got together in the past couple years, so 65. Phil Ailing so far is closest. If we don't get anyone else very soon who's as close as Phil or Connie, okay, we do have a correct answer now. Steve Vendetta got the correct answer. Gets the 2 there, and then I'll make sure that everybody else gets a point. That's right, 17 years. 17 years. 17 years is a good amount of time to realize maybe they didn't suck that bad after all, and then get back together again. So yeah, 17 years. I mean, that's definitely enough to get. Am I frozen? I shouldn't be frozen. I hope I'm not. Am I moving around now? Am I frozen? Ooh. Okay. Kyle was there for a second. So yeah, we're doing good. We got our two who got that Vendetta, and then Phil Ailing got the points for that. So yeah, and yeah, now I'm back. Okay. You just wanted to see me dance, you bastard. All right, cool. So where are we? Question 6. All right. Ooh, this knocked me for a bit of a loop. You know, they've had lots of sports that we didn't necessarily see as sports, but now they're on live TV. Like, who else watched the cornhole league? Which I've watched it, and it was fun. It's a fun game. But yeah, so they're the slapping thing and all that. Like, they have all sorts of weird sports now. So this is a new one. What children's game usually played at sleepovers is becoming an official televised league? It's already a league, but now it's televised. I'm interested to see what you guys come up. Hey, watch it. I produced some of this for my head. Oh, okay. Basketball 37. Yeah, definitely melting down. I'm definitely melting down. But yeah, not spin the bottle, not Ouija. Oh, Phil. Damn, Phil. Okay. Phil knows what's up. Phil got the 3 points on that one. Good job, Phil. And then Steve Vendetta right behind. That's right, guys. It is pillow fighting. Pillow fighting is the newest. That's insane to me. Just insane. Pillow fighting is the new big league that we're going to get to watch. I got to wonder, like, they got to check pillows. Does everyone have to use the same pillow, or can you use a different one? And certainly, can I use an aluminum pillow? I mean, what? Pillow fighting's been around for a decade, so now they have an official televised league. That's insane to me, though. Yeah, and tag's another one. Like, what the heck? That sounds like passive aggressive bitch slapping. Oh, Connie, you're hilarious. Oh, but yeah, the stuff that's making it to TV. We have so many channels and so much time to watch. So my dog's just staring at me. Pillow fighting. Remember when we hit each other with pillows? The dog's not as good at that. Yeah, just weird. All right, I produced a puzzle puzzle? Really? I did not know that. Congrats. That's cool, dude. Congrats. That's funny. I didn't see the things that they televise. Where was the hottest temperature on Earth recorded? And I will give you guys a bit of a clue, because this one's, well, actually, I'll give you a little bit of time, because why the heck not? But yeah, where was the hottest temperature on Earth recorded? Did Microsoft excel for them last year? That's funny. Okay, and we do actually have correct answers. Oh, that's so funny. Connie jumps in right away with the 3-pointer. 1, 2, 3 for Connie. And then I think, yeah, not in Texas there, Phil. I would have felt that. Eddie just narrowly jumped ahead of Steve Vendetta by saying Death Valley as well. And then I'll make sure that everyone else gets a point. All right, yeah, Death Valley, hottest place on the planet. I think it was 134 degrees. Ugh, dude, that's just wrong. Don't we all agree that's just wrong? Reminding everyone again, we are playing for Robot Sex. The first 2 issues of Robot Sex from our dude, John Holland. Please go check out his Kickstarter on right now for Alma. A-L-M-A or Alma? Alma? Yeah. On Kickstarter right now. I think you guys will absolutely dig it. So yeah, please check that out. The Demon Hunting Geriatric Alma. Gotta check it out. I would die. Yeah, who wouldn't die at that temperature. That's nuts. I melted 75. I mean, I'm Canadian, and thanks, Chuck. My wife just yelled, "You're playing for what?" See, that's why we say stuff like that, so that the people in the background get to be like, "What the hell are you playing for?" That's right, sweetheart. Robot sex. That's so great. Oh yeah, because you put me up on the TV, don't you? Hey, honey, how are you? Robot sex. Okay, yeah. Question 8. The Eiffel Tower. This is interesting. The Eiffel Tower grows every summer due to thermal expansion. How much does it grow? And I think we all understand when it gets cold, we shrink down. And I tend to feel like in the summer, the Eiffel Tower is just at its truest height. Not more than half an inch. Believe that or not, Phil. Definitely more than half an inch. Several inches, in fact. Not as much as it claims, because Gustav Eiffel was a dude. Not 50. So we're doing it in inches, sadly. Yeah, we're doing it in inches. 7 inches is very close. Very close there, Vendetta. Yeah, I can't do the centimeters, but if it finds out you guys are close, yeah, right. And I should be a metric guy, but Steve Vendetta got it first. It's a grower and a shower. That's great, Connie. That's so great. So Vendetta got the correct answer. So we're gonna give him the 3 points for that. And then who was able to? No one else is getting the 6 inches. I might just give it because someone was really close right away. Who got the 5 inches? Thought someone said 5. Maybe I'm dead wrong. I'm flipping through the old. All right. Let's see. 6 inches. And anybody else say it? Eddie Von B. Awesome. Eddie. So Eddie gets the 2 points for that one. And then I'll make sure that everybody else gets a point. All right. Yeah. 6 inches. Grows by. Dude, I wouldn't mind growing by 6 inches in the summer. I'm just saying. In whatever, as long as it's half scale, as long as it's not growing out, growing taller, or etc. Or winkety wink. Question 9. What year was the Summer of Love? That's not a hard one. It's not too bad. What year was the Summer of Love? I mean, some of you might have even been alive for. I was not alive for the Summer of Love, but some of you might have been. Phil is so close. Phil Ailing, so close. Oh, and then Phil did get it. So Phil did get the 3 points on that one. 1, 2, 3. Who else? Not 69. Eddie Von B got it with 67. And then I'm going to make sure that everyone else gets a point. That's right, guys. It was 1967. It's hot producer summer, so 2024. Yeah, 1967 was the year. Don't know why it was considered the Summer of Love. I'm sure there's lots of reasons, and I'm sure someone will tell me. But yeah, and we have the final question. If you guys are ready, we're gonna do that final question. What was Pixar's first movie? Yeah, Woodstock. For some reason I thought it was 69, but Woodstock totally could have been 67. That would make sense. Yeah, it was 69. Yeah. Yeah, because Woodstock 99 was 33 years later. Yeah. So no. We do have an answer already though. 1, 2, 3. Again, what was the first? Okay, yeah. And then right behind was Monsieur Phil. And okay, so you guys all got it. Toy Story. Yeah. Toy Story was the first full-length Pixar movie. And dude, this was pretty close actually. I mean, between first and Dude, there's literally 1 point between first and second, and then another point. Oh, and then 2 points between second and third. So Ed did great. Eddie did really well, but he got third place. Phil, you did wonderful, but also second place. So today's winner is Mr. Steve Vendetta. Steve Vendetta, you're winning some robot sex. Woo! Congratulations. Oh, Monterey. That's right. It was Monterey. Yeah. So yeah, Steve Vendetta wins the first 2 issues of Robot Sex. Steve, make sure to send me your information and everything so I can make sure that you get lots and lots of Robot Sex. If you hadn't typed New Orleans, just that one, you might have been there. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much. That was an awful lot of fun. I love hanging out with you guys. Miss having my co-host, but so glad to be here every week. I want to give a lot of thanks to our guest today, John Holland. Go check out Alma. John, hey, you're still here. What's going on, John?
All right, not much. I was just watching and enjoying the contest.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So our man Steve Vendetta, I'll get you that address. He won that, so he's going to be getting that sweet prize. And yeah, can you tell us one last time about Alma? Get everyone really excited about it.
What if Buffy was a 70-year-old grandmother? That pretty much sums it all up in one sentence.
No, it does beautifully. So everybody, John, what are your social medias? What social medias do you use? You're on you're on Facebook?
Ko-fi.com/Diebold Comics. That I've kind of used that as my website. Ko-fi is kind of like, you can do everything on Ko-fi now.
Yeah.
So I use that. I'm in Facebook under my name, John Holland. Instagram under Diebold Comics. Twitter, Diebold Comics. Pretty much everywhere, Kickstarter Inc.pub/Alma, to get to go to for the Alma Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Ko-fi is like, I've got my blog. I've got a little shop on there.
Yeah.
So you could, like I said, you could do everything there. You go there, you can find out, you can find Robot Sex. You can find pretty much most of my comics I've done. That's
because as we found out, you can't Google Robot Sex. That's a bad idea.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Terrible idea.
Well, that's kind of like, I used to work in retail, and I worked for a company, Academy Sports. It's a sporting goods store, and we're more down south, and we didn't have any Dicks around our area. And we heard, that they were moving in. So one of the other managers, this female manager, decided to Google Dicks. And she's like, oh, my God.
Did not end up well. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. She should have known that going into it. Yeah. John, again, thank you so much for coming out, man. I really appreciate you. Steve Vendetta, get in touch with me about that book. I want to make sure that you get it. Everybody, thank you so much. My awesome publisher, or our awesome producer, Kyle, thank you so much for weathering the storm. Literally, all of you guys out there, the EXP, much love. My name is Chuck, and I give a fuck. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week with more Triple T.
Thank you.